Good morning, everybody. MG here. MGCovers bringing you a brand new handicapping video. Title of this video is a recap of my 2.5-year journey of handicapping soccer, plus a big announcement. Before we dive into that, as always, greatly appreciate everybody that has subscribed to the channel. Big shout out to all of my current subscribers. If you like this channel, like the content, and this is your first time watching one of my videos, love to have you as a subscriber of the channel. You will learn a lot about handicapping, not so much free plays, but just a lot of educational information about how to handicap NFL, soccer, college football, etc. Have a lot of playlists on the channel. If you want to follow me on social media, my screen name is MGCovers, cover spelled with a Z. I put out a lot of content on my storyline on Instagram, things that I don't normally make a big video for on YouTube. So if you want to follow me on social media, Instagram, MGCovers, you get a lot of value simply following me on Instagram. And on Twitter, same exact screen name, MGCovers as well. All right, so before we dive into this journey that I've went through with soccer, basically building a soccer model, making a ton of tweaks. The big announcement, I'm going to cover that first. So the big announcement is, as of today, clients have access to 12 soccer leagues, basically my lines for 12 soccer leagues. And I'm going to just kind of review those with you now. We have access to English Premier League, Italy Series A. This is Bundesliga over here, Spain, French League, and the MLS Soccer League. In addition, all of these leagues are going to stay the same, which means we will follow these leagues for the duration. On the second page here, the next 6, these could change daily depending on action. Some of these smaller leagues might have action during the week, so we'll post those, and these could change. But right now it's Mexico, the Netherlands, this over here, you're looking at, this is Brazil Series A, and bottom left is Turkey, Chile Premier, and the England Championship League. Now, so 12 soccer leagues, my lines for all 12 of those. And if you're watching this video and you want to see that now, I created a link for Free Fridays. This is something I do every Friday. I give away, maybe it's 4 or 5 college football lines, or maybe my NFL lines, and usually soccer lines. So what I've done is I've pushed that onto the website. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you can go scroll down to the bottom of this video. There's a link in the description. You just click on that link. It's going to take you right to this. No email. You don't have to, sign up for anything. You get access. I'll leave it free for today, so you can see all my lines for all 12 of those soccer leagues. If you're watching this video from another source, you simply go to mgcovers.com and scroll to the right. You'll see something that says Free Fridays. Click that link, and boom, you have access here. So that's the big announcement. Super, super excited about that. Ton of value. And of course, Free Fridays, you get access to all of this now. So I want to back up briefly and talk about the journey soccer. So the very first video I made on soccer was March. You can see down here, this is YouTube channel, March 11th, 2019. How I calculate lines. If you haven't watched that video, pretty good video. And believe it or not, to this day, as of right now, I use this same exact model. There's a few tweaks, but for the most part, this is basically how I calculate a soccer line. And part of this, the reason for this video is to show you the journey and how difficult it is to create a model and then have success with that model. I get asked that question a lot. Hey, I'd love to build a model. And when people say, hey, I'm going to start building a model for, say, college football, I do not believe people realize the amount of time, energy, effort that it takes to create a successful model. This is a 2.5-year journey for me, and I've just now, September of last month, felt really good about where I'm at with soccer. So I would say it probably has taken me 2.5 years to get to this point where I feel real comfortable with soccer, and actually had success making the model in the way that I handicap profitable. NHL, the very first model I ever created, that took a year. So if you're building a model, or are moving in that direction, it's going to take a lot of time. It's not something that you're going to be able to throw a couple stats together and maybe a month or two have a successful model. It's not impossible, but it's highly unlikely. So building a successful model takes time, and that's one of the reasons showing you this video, because it's taken me basically 2.5 years to get to this point. So that was the very first video. Again, I still use that same calculation to this day, but September 25th, this is the website now. We're at MGCovers.com. This is a coaching client only post, but I made one small tweak, and this was a significant game changer as well. If your client, obviously have access to that post, but that really started to produce pretty good results. The next significant tweak that I made was, let me see if I can find this post. Let's see here. What was it? June? Yeah, I think I gotta go back one. Was it this one? Maybe it was June 2021. I got June 2021 written down in my notes. Yep, here it is. So June 2021, handicapping soccer using 3 criteria. Now, I did a video about this maybe a couple months ago. One of those criteria I'll go ahead and share with you now was we only play home teams. And what I found was home teams have a statistical advantage in soccer. This is true for most sports. As you know, in college football, college basketball, home team wins 70% of the time. So you can use that to leverage your handicapping when you're selecting teams or plays. Same deal with soccer. So to give us a slight statistical advantage, we just focus on home teams. Some home leagues can win close to 50%. Some it's a little bit, maybe it's 39%, 40%. But for the most part, across the board, home teams have a statistical advantage and win more than the draw line and the away line. And that being said, that's one of the difficult things about soccer. I don't think people realize it's completely different than any other sport because you have that draw line. So it's just, unless you've wagered on soccer and experienced a run of draws, it, again, very difficult sport to handicap. And like everything that I teach, very difficult but doable. And so this tweak right here, 3 criteria, this made a huge difference. And I was starting to see a lot of improvement. And then finally, the next big move I made. So between those, so you look at March 2019, the next significant tweak I made was September 2020. Then almost a year later was when I made that last post I just went over. And then finally, this came, let's see here. Where is this one? Discrete soccer handicapping coaching client only post. So this was August 23rd, 2021. And this was sort of the final adjustment that I made that's brought me to the point where I'm at now. And this was huge right here. What was happening is, was experiencing a lot of draws, and what I incorporated into my handicapping is a basic, is something you should incorporate into all of your handicapping, regardless of the sport. Just something very simple that I left out. But when I added this into my soccer handicapping, I saw a huge change. We're starting to cash a lot more winners with soccer. So again, I've had 4 tweaks just to review that. We made the model March 2019. Next significant tweak was September 2020. Then the following year, which was this past summer, June 2021. And then, of course, we made this tweak right here. This was on August 23rd, 2021. Felt real confident at this point, which was only, 2 months ago. And what we're going to do now is I'm going to review the betting log for September, because I feel like this was the month that I finally put everything together with regards to soccer. So what I did was I took out all of my, this is my betting log. I took out all of my college football plays, NFL plays, so we can just see the soccer plays. And just to show you what you're looking at, this is the date. These are the teams. This is the money line, the unit size, whether it won or lost, and then the total units earned over here on the right. And you'll notice one secret, I've covered this in previous videos. My unit size for me is $1,000, but I generally don't wager more than 1 full unit per day. You can see if it says 0.2 units, that means we're only wagering 1/5 unit, or in this case, $200. If you see 0.5, that means that's half a unit, $500. 1/3 unit, which would be $333. And the reason for doing that, let's say you have 3 plays in a day, you're only risking 1/3 unit. You go 0 for 3 on that day, you're only down 1 full unit. So it's a really effective strategy. It doesn't seem like it would add up, but you'll watch this. At the end of this month, you'll see it does absolutely add up. So early on, one thing that intrigued me about soccer before we get into the log was playing. You had these huge dogs. You know, you could find dogs for plus 300, even plus 400, plus 500. We have cashed those. But what I've realized in soccer is, considering that draw line, we generally don't focus that much on, or a lot of our wagers, we really don't play a lot of huge money line dogs. You might see a situation like this. This particular wager here was minus 118. We played it on the pick spread line, which means if this team draws, then it's basically a push. And I'm not sure what the money line, but more than likely when you're playing a team on the pick line at say minus 118, or even in this case minus 102, a lot of times you can get, you know, significant dog money, maybe, you know, plus 165. So usually when that opportunity presents itself, I cover this in some coaching videos, I like to play that team on that pick line. So we just sort of, I'm not going to go through every one of these, but you can sort of, you know, see all of the wagers here. Yeah, September was a really good month. And again, it was the first month that I put all of this together, 2.5-year journey. We ended up going 18-10, netted out 2.296 units. So that win percentage, just so we can calculate it so you can see it. Let's add this up here. It's going to be what? So you take 18 divided by your total number of plays, which would be 28. And that was 64%. So really good percentage there, 64% win percentage, netted out 2.296 units. So for me, just with soccer alone, we made basically $2,300 wagering on soccer for the month of September. But the big takeaway is, I put all of that together. This was a 2.5-year journey to get to this point, to where we had a really good win percentage and netted out basically $2,300, which was probably the best month I've ever had with soccer. And in fact, I think that previous year, 2020, we only netted out 3 units for the entire year, wagering right at, I think, 300 something matches. So if you decide to build a stat model, you're going to have to be patient, have to make relevant tweaks, and it could take you, in this example, you know, 2.5 years to where you put something together that's really, really, really solid. You may encounter a situation like what we did with soccer, MLB baseball, where the sport has kind of went through this paradigm shift. The model that I had that was successful in previous years was not successful this year nor last year. So I'm going to have to make a tweak with Major League Baseball. So very difficult business, but absolutely doable. Super, super excited where we're at with soccer. That being said, if you are watching this video and you want access to all of these lines that I create for soccer, you can do that, $49.95 per month. Incredible value just for soccer. You get access, all of these coaching videos I just showed you here, you get access to that. And I think that's the big point I want to make too, is that you get, a lot of people say, well, if I become a client, I don't have access to your actual model. With soccer, you do. You see exactly how I calculate the lines for soccer. You're able to see the exact stats that I use for soccer, everything, all of the coaching videos. So you're able to have access to this model, everything from A to Z. So if you like to handicap soccer, ton of value here, and this will definitely expedite the learning curve for you for handicapping soccer. So again, that's 49 bucks a month. In addition to that, obviously you get access to college football model, NFL model, and of course NHL and NBA. Probably in about a month is when I'm going to release my power rankings, which are basically my lines for those sports. If you want access to all of my plays, like you see here listed for soccer, that's 99 bucks per month. And of course, if you want to join for the year, that offers the best value. That is $4.99 for the entire year. You save about $600. So if you really want to commit to learning, you can join, have access to all my plays, coaching videos, all my power rankings for 500 bucks for the year. Anyway, hopefully you like this video, and we will talk to you guys soon. Peace.